What's up, y'all? Good Monday. Good to see y'all. Listen, y'all. If y'all don't know, this is TFG Tonight, and I'm your host, Mr. Haynes. And this is the best morning show that you can watch at night. Y'all listen, that's Devin, that's Lee, and that's Kenny.
I'm trying to be nice.
Black said we got two Americas.
Say to my brother Black, man, I think you could be a preacher. I ain't never heard somebody that use a curse word and then read a scripture right after.
So let me state for the record, I am a misogynist. You know?
Pull out your card, Doc. He's
and I'm a chauvinist as well. Anybody who knows me knows that.
That's right. That is
Now I can go back to minding my own business.
true.
Either that boy is Benjamin Button or somebody lying.
And listen, and that boy may be mentally 12, but he's 34.
You bad boy, you don't do it again.
I'll let Black articulate a little bit better than that.
Nope.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's good for the soul. It's like medicine, right?
Yeah, for real.
That's all I gotta say. I wish I had one of them applause buttons to, like that.
Good morning, y'all. Happy Monday.
And what a happy one it is. Hey, we are back. It's been 14 days, but that's okay. We back and everybody's here, because if I wouldn't be on if everybody wasn't here, right? Okay, just so y'all know. Yes. And so for all y'all have been concerned, there he is, and he is doing fine. And I would just say he's doing more than fine, because he's telling us things I don't want to hear. So he is doing just fine, ladies and gentlemen. Oh man. Okay. All right. I cannot unhear that, but yes. Hey everybody, good to see y'all. Family. Y'all doing all right? Everybody
doing good,
Yes,
brother.
how are you, sir?
Good. Now, just so y'all know, for those that didn't hassle me and hound me about last week, Lee was sick. And so he wasn't feeling well. So that's why we weren't here. So no, Devin, she was in her place, but Lee was sick. So, but we're here now, and we have things to talk about. And so, as I promised, we will do a whole thing of Black Love series this week. But again, if we say something y'all like, please, by all means, look at the Cash App below. And if you feel a little generous, by all means, give a little bit if you don't mind. Because hurry up before Trump take it all too. So, but again, yeah. But we'll be back on that next week. So again, I think we need to take a break anyway, because it's heavy out there, y'all. It's heavy. And so I just think we just need to have a little conversation between the family and just enjoy ourselves tonight. So is that all right? Woo! All right. Well, listen, I'm gonna start this thing off just a little light, because we're gonna get a little heavy here in a little bit. But I wanted to talk about being disrespectful. And basically, I'm going to go somewhere with this. But first of all, I want to know, do we all believe that disrespect is the same? Like, Lee, what qualifies somebody disrespecting you?
For me, it comes down to insulting my intelligence.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That's one of the biggest ways for me to be disrespectful, because I have pretty thick skin. But when you insult my intelligence, that triggers me.
Okay, good. See, because that's right. Because some people, sister, what is considered disrespectful to you? How can somebody disrespect you?
There's so many things, but that one Black said, that's a big one for me, because I've tried to fight my son before just because he was playing on my intelligence.
Oh, yeah. See, okay, good. There we go. All right, Kenny, what constitutes disrespect to you?
That is one that both Lady D and Brother Black said, but the biggest one for me is to speak to me as if I'm your child, and I'm a grown ass man.
Yes, sir.
I don't tolerate being talked to like I'm a child. So
okay,
that's definitely disrespectful.
Great. So here's the thing then, before I take it where I want to go, as it relates to children, is it the same? And again, by all things being equal, we know that we are adults and they are children. And again, not to say a silly adult dealing with a child, but is there a difference? Since you shook your head, so what's the difference between a disrespectful adult and a disrespectful child?
Well, now some people are different. You know, when some people, when their kids become adults, they're equals, but not me. I'm kind of old school. Like there are certain things that my kids cannot say to me, and certain ways they can't come at me.
Right.
Where another adult, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to me, like a whole lot of profanity or talking, you know what I'm saying, just being disgusting, saying like just improper things and throwing the F-bomb. Like we don't do that. Like I'm grown, and I have yet to cuss in front of my mom.
So what about other people's children cussing around you?
I think it depends on who they are. Like if I'm working with somebody who happens to be the age of one of my kids and they cuss, I'm not going to look at it at the same way as one of my kids' friends, because I expect their friends to respect me just like them.
Yeah.
But if it's a co-worker that happens to be their age, of course, that may be different.
Okay, good. We setting the stage really good. Kenny, is it different for children as it relates to the disrespect?
Yeah, I think yeah, it's definitely different. Are you speaking of your own children or just children in general?
Either way, yeah, just kids. Period.
Okay. Well, definitely what Lady D said. My own children, they all grown, but you know, there's certain things that I'm not gonna tolerate. Strong language. You're not gonna do that around me. Obviously, you grown, you curse, but you do that with your friends, with your homies and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't talk like that because I ain't a big cursor.
Right.
Now other people children, I don't fool with them. When they being disrespectful, I don't fool with them. I don't deal with other people's children because I already know that's a trigger. That's a trigger for some people.
Yes, sir.
And I ain't got time to be getting into with that child's mom and daddy. So I let them disrespectful children stay where they are.
Yes, sir. I am some people. Just so y'all know, I am to some people. Okay, Black. Now we tongue in cheek. I know how you hate your children, but I'm just saying. He said it before.
But I'm like Lady D. And I mean that with love. But I'm more like Lady D. I'm old fashioned in the sense that there's always going to be a line that separates parent from children. As Lady D says, I'm 57 years old and I still call my mother mom. There's a sign of respect that's always going to be there. I've cursed around her in a roundabout way. And even she's watched this show and heard me say curse words, but I would never just curse outright in front of her. And when it comes to other people's kids, I'm even worse. I'm like you, brother Kenny. I would say something. If even friend or associate, if I heard a kid say something and be disrespectful around adults, I'm gonna have to say something. That's just who I'm like. Wait a minute. These are adults. So I'm very old fashioned. That's probably one of the reasons why I don't like children in my presence, because the new parenting is far different than what I believe.
Yeah, and see that's where I'm about to go. Hey, Miss Tori, she said I don't have time
to
go to jail, so I'm not messing with other people's children, and that's the thing. And so here's my question about being disrespected, because here we've established everybody for the most part has it, but there may be a little bit, some will put up with things than others. Like I don't deal with children that are disrespectful, period, because mine don't. And I am a recovering anger management person. And so I just know where I don't need to go. That's why I stopped teaching after 1 year. Because I know better, right?
That test your gangster.
Yes, it did. And listen, he was there. So this is what I want to ask them. How, again, because are disrespectful children ultimately disrespectful adults? And then how do we deal with these people? Like, I that's the question. Like, do we engage them, or even like you said, if it's your kids and then they come with their disrespectful parents, it's just like, how are we supposed to engage with disrespectful people? Because again, and we brought it up, the cursing. There are some parents who don't have a problem with their children cursing, right? And so again, they won't look at it as disrespectful, and then they come talk to you, and it's like, hey. Well, and again, I had to catch myself, because I said, you don't talk to your mama like that, and they say, yes, they do. I said, well, you can't even say that no more, because it's like, well, I ain't your mama. That's what I just say. They don't talk to me like that. So how do we deal with disrespectful people, whether they're adults or children, are we just moving out the way? Because again, they kind of turn into, okay, come on, Black. What how do we engage disrespectful people?
No, I've been very fortunate in that. I don't know if it's because I'm a guy, a big guy, and a heavy voice or whatever. I've always been amazed that some of the most disrespectful children that I know, but when they come around me, there is a line that they know he doesn't play that. And it's amazing that, and that tells me that they have enough cognizance to realize who they can get away with it with. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't require me all the time to be nasty or whatever. I mentor many of my friends' children in the sense that, wait a minute, and I try to impart some wisdom to them, mm-hmm. you know, and I use those opportunities to say to that child, first of all, this your mom, man. You know, I've been in that situation where, you know, you can't do that, and I'll stop them in their track for whatever it's worth. Mm-hmm. But what's so cool is that I've been gone, for example, from Memphis for 10 years, and I can go back there today, and as soon as they see me, I'm Mr. Black.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. It shows you that behavior. It's learned. And it's in many cases it's tolerated and accepted. And you know, I feel bad for parents that they don't, for whatever reason, don't step in. But these young people are not idiots. They know the line and who they can get away with it with.
And Kenny, to Toria's point, that's good because they think these things are funny when they're kids, teenagers. Mm-hmm. Then they become adults and then they get mad at them for being that way. It's like, mm-hmm. y'all did them like this. I mean, so how do we deal with these people, man? We just isolate ourselves from them, or what are we doing?
You talking about dealing with disrespectful people in general, adults? I don't deal with them. Mm-hmm. Me personally, I don't. I don't deal with them. If I don't rock with you, I don't rock with you, especially if you're disrespectful. Because what's going to happen is there's going to come a point where that line is going to be crossed. You're going to step across that line and disrespect me, and we not. I don't want to go there. So I don't deal with disrespectful people, nor disrespectful kids. I don't deal with them.
So you don't want to teach people how to treat you.
I
got time.
I don't post. I have my 3 kids and my granddaughter. They're the only people I had to teach. I ain't got the time to teach no grown person how to be respectful. No, that ain't on me.
Okay. All right. So sister. So I'll give you this one. Because I've heard you talk about this. So how do you deal with disrespectful family members?
Oh, my cutoff game is A1. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are, where you fall on the family tree. If you disrupted my peak, because everybody that I encounter, like even, you know, at work as a leader, I let everybody know when I speak to you in this tone, and when I'm always respectful to you, it's because I expect it in return. And I expect that for everyone. I'm very respectful when I talk to people in general. When it's time for me to be disrespectful, I know how. But in general, I'm always respectful when I speak to someone, because I tell them I treat you the way I want you to treat me. And that's just how I am. And if you can't be that type of person when you're around me, then you just can't come around me. I don't need you in my space.
Okay. Well, then I got one last question for y'all. Is there a level of ignorance then when it comes to being disrespectful? Or are people doing this intently? Is there a level of disrespect? I mean, is there a level of ignorance behind this disrespect, or are people really doing this intentionally?
I think both.
Okay.
Yeah, my experience has been both. You know, you do what you're taught and what you've seen, what you grow up with. So when you brought up family, there are some people that's what they know. That literally is how they communicate with each other, and so you know that's an ignorant bliss. And then some of it is definitely intentional, where you know, I would say for young people, but not just young people. You take we don't want to mention Orange one. He has ushered in an era of disrespect.
Oh my God.
Based on emboldening. So, yes. But I'm saying, so in this case, this is adults. It's intentional.
Yes.
That you're stepping out from behind whatever you think cover you have now. And that's where, like to Brother Kenny's point, I'm not here to educate you, but that's where I'm like Lady D. she said a cutoff game. I
Mhm.
curse like nobody's business. And I don't give a fuck if it's a child or 80-year-old woman. You gonna get it.
Get it. Yes, sir. Okay. Sister, I mean, is it ignorance or is it intentional or well? And Miss Tori will answer your question in just a second.
I think that some people are disrespectful because they see it as like a dominance thing. And this is how they get what they want by acting like a fool. Because we all know people who just a fool. That's just their nature. That's just their personality. People you encounter in stores. Like some people are just, that's their personality to be just disrespectful. Now they probably never get nowhere in life and really be nobody. But that's just who they are because they have learned that this particular behavior gets the reaction that they are seeking. So I mean, that's just folks, and they won't be around me.
Yeah, right. Kenny, I know you cut them off, so I'm really not sure you even care about that. But I mean, do you think it's ignorance or intentional?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think Lady D hit the nail on the head. I think a lot of them just want to get a reaction out of people.
Yeah,
and they want to be clowns. They want to be the star of the show. They attention seekers. So a lot of that disrespectfulness, that's what they want, and that's what they grew up being allowed to do, and nobody has checked them. And unfortunately, they become adults being disrespectful, and then guess who check them? Law enforcement, because eventually that disrespectfulness is gonna get you. It's gonna catch up with you. So,
yeah. And I think, and what you just brought up with the whole law enforcement, that will tell you whether or not they're intentional or ignorant when they know how to cut it off around the right people.
Right.
And that's the thing. And this is what I want to say about that. Like, I'm not so much concerned with the flamboyant, ignorant, disrespectful people because it's almost a level of silliness. The problem is that when you catch a hold of somebody who you don't know is ignorant, and then you take me there, and when I get there, I don't have no good understanding no more. So when I lose my understanding, just know I don't come back for a minute. Like the Incredible Hulk, that's a real person.
That's
just
me.
Just don't turn green.
It's a mysterious question.
Yeah,
it's scary, but the last several weekends I've had to in public because I'm minding my business. But I'm not peaceful. I don't whip out my phone and go to social media and look at this fool. No, others might whip out their phone, and I'm probably on somebody's video. But you gonna get the full brunt of this, and I'm gonna ratchet it up because I know I can go there. So like the white lady, not this weekend, the past weekend, I followed all the way to the store, and my voice is pretty heavy, and I stood right behind her. I told her I fuck her and I little dog.
No. Okay. All right.
There you go. Right there.
So Miss Toria, I think as far as me, and if the other two want to answer, I'll say for me, I don't engage them because there's no need for me because I know where I can go, and it's, again, I got a lot to lose, and so I'll not do it. But if you're coming, I'll warn you once, and I mean once, and then when I go on by my business. But when you touch me, then they're gonna have to identify you like they did Emmett Till. I'm just telling you, it's gonna be hard because that's where I go. I think of everything out of the sun, everybody who ever bothered me. That's where I go. I mean, so again, now I don't engage people like that because I don't know what they want. And again, if you want that smoke, then you get me there. That means you meant to do it. And when I'm there ain't no more calming down, nothing like that. I mean, Sister Bassett, Angela, I mean,
Most of the time, I'm just gonna pretend I don't see you, not make eye contact. If I know you're gonna be in that location for an extended period of time, I'll just leave. I'll just turn around and leave.
Right.
If I happen to be in a mood, I might cuss you out. But usually I mind my business just because I just don't like fooling because I really believe that a lot of people who act like this in public, they do it for a reaction.
Attention, yes.
And so I'm like, let's go on.
Yeah. The real
It'll
fools are
eat it
costume.
on the inside all day if I don't say nothing. I'll be mad with myself. I'm working on that, but I mean, in all seriousness,
Yeah.
if I let it go, it'll eat at me, so I have to get it out.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm assuming Kenny already told us once that you just don't deal with them. So I just ain't no need to be nasty.
Yeah. Well, just as long as you don't invade my personal space.
That's it.
You can do everything else, but if you invade my personal space, then we're gonna have issues.
And that's the thing, man. That's why we're being isolated now, because again, we just don't. Nobody, the folks that got sense, we don't want it. And just again, if you're coming for it, just you better bring hell with it, because again, I don't know. She said it's getting more difficult for me to keep my mouth shut since Trump. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's getting bad. He talked about emboldening these people, and that's what they are. Go on, sir, and we get out of here.
I just had a slight question. Since this is Black Love Series, I'm just curious, especially for the two married members of the panel, how do you guys navigate disrespect in a relationship?
Good question.
You want to go first? Because I got mine already.
I'm always calm. I'm usually a de-escalator. I'm that person, and I'm gonna tell you that I find whatever you do disrespectful. And I've been in a few relationships, and my relationships a lot of times end because of things that I have found disrespectful. Because this is always my demeanor. I don't cut up. It's not who I am. I'm gonna tell you, hey, I've already told you multiple times that you being disrespectful, and I feel like you doing it intentionally. You know what I'm saying, at this point, and I'm gonna get sick of it after a while. And then eventually I just get sick of it and move on. But I try to always be respectful. Will I cut up sometimes? Yeah, but I always try to be like respectful, because I expect it in return. And if you cannot respect me, that makes me almost feel like you don't even like me, because you don't care about my feelings. So if I think you don't like me, I need to go elsewhere.
So for me, I'm not playing when I tell y'all I'm recovering from being a very angry person. So in times past, when I wasn't recovering, like, it was bad, because I would just let it be known. But as years pass, and again, we celebrate 20 in a few months, 20 years. Like, thank you. I don't want to hurt my wife. Okay, I don't want to hurt her no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? So if it's getting to that point, again, we've grown together. So it's like, hey, this making me feel like, all right, let's cut it out. And so again, I'm not looking forward to, like, that's what we do now. We just not going there. When we get there, it's like, we're on our way there. Let's just move on, because nothing's worth it no more. Right? I don't want to hurt her. She don't want to hurt me. And again, that's the type of relationship you need to be in. Y'all should not be wanting to hurt each other.
Right.
And if you do it on accident, let me know. I'll apologize. Whatever it is. And again, if we agree to disagree, we just gonna keep it going. We too old. And again, okay, I'm gonna take a whole rabbit hole, but I'm just saying, we just like,
right.
Anyway, that's it. Yeah.
No,
get a hold of something else. What you want?
Good question.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. I got a question for Black before we get out of here. Now, did you straighten out your mama about these dirty, nasty drawers?
Yeah, I was worried about that too. Yeah, I was worried about that too.
No, I did not. Yeah. No, I didn't go. No, I didn't go near that.
Okay. And for those of y'all that know, his mama asked a question a couple weeks ago. She was like, "Now, what is some dirty, nasty, filthy drawers?"
That has to be the best moment of TFG.
Y'all know it's coming up at the end of the year, yes, sir.
In history, in the history of this show, that is the best moment ever.
Yeah. So if y'all didn't see that, y'all go back and watch it. It was like at the end of the show, but she was so trying to figure out what some dirty, nasty drawers was.
I ain't touching that.
Okay, yes, sir. Okay, so listen. Again, I'm just trying to detach from the world because it's just so much going on. And again, we can do it because we love each other. And I just, because this is a real problem, apparently. What's up with makeup? And I'm asking about women. Like, Black, do you like,
I love the question, because I don't think it's ever been covered.
We know talking about it. So this is what I'm saying. We've been around so long. It's just like we just got to go deep down in the dungeon and find stuff and just come up with it. So just quickly, do you like women who wear makeup, Black?
I am not a big fan of it. I can't wait to hear Lady D's take on this.
Okay.
But no, I like more of a natural look.
Okay, Kenny, do you like women who wear makeup?
I don't have a problem with a woman wearing makeup.
Okay, great. This is why I love each other. I personally, again, I see the accent and I understand what it has the potential to do, but I literally married my wife because she did not need it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was intentional. And it's like I like natural beauty, but I understand. But here's the thing, and Devin, you're gonna have the flow. Mm-hmm. I just don't understand why y'all put so much of it on till we can't recognize you when you take it off. Now that I don't understand, and I just want to have a conversation. So Miss Toria, CC, y'all tell us what's up.
Please.
I just don't understand. Why does it need to have let me shut up. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. Come on, sister. What's up with this makeup? What's up?
I personally don't wear a whole lot of makeup just because I don't think it enhances my look. I think it makes me look either older or it just, I've never thought it looked that good on me. I mean, the whole, you know how some women can wear makeup and completely like contour their whole nose and they turn into like a totally different like looking person. So that's never been me because I just don't like the look. I like more just of a light something of whatever, depending on what I'm doing. However, I respect anybody who chooses to wear a lot of makeup because for women, let's be honest, our currency is our beauty.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And for a lot of women,
sometimes it's a little counterfeit when you take it off.
I would. That's why I want to.
Yes and no, because I know there are a lot of women, especially like on like social media, who get a lot of attention and who have become big as far as in social media because of how they look with all of their makeup on. Even some of them become famous because they can do makeup and teach others how to do makeup. True. So I am a big to each its own and whatever makes you feel good and whatever makes you feel better type person. I just don't want to be tied to it because if you are that type of person who wears that every day, you have to commit to that every day. You can't like go without it because you don't look like yourself. You look ill or tired and things like that.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna let you get to it, Black. Let me ask this though, because this is my thing. So why do women get upset at men? And again, I know some men can be very disrespectful in their approach, but I just don't understand why is it that they get upset at men who then have a criticism of them having too much on. It's just this is subjective. And again, I have a family member who does makeup, so I get it.
Well, because, and I don't know how else to say it, we don't do it for y'all. Like, and so it's almost like,
really,
why do you feel like your opinion should matter to us like that? Because I know a lot of men think that women do this for them. It's really not. It's more for women than it is for men. You know what I'm saying? We dress a certain way for us to because we want to show up in the world a certain way. We, as far as makeup, hair, clothes, whatever it is, our car, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it would almost be like a woman criticizing any little thing about you that we may not like. You know what I'm saying? Like if a woman was like, I can't stand a dude with a beard, or I can't stand a dude with a shaved face, or I can't stand a dude, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's like, I feel like you should be able to look like you want to look, how you want to look, when you want to look, and understand that for a woman, if you are the type of guy who does not like a woman with a lot of makeup on, then that just wouldn't be the woman for you. And that would be, that's okay. But when random dudes say, I don't know why you do all that, they look horrible, women get upset because they're like, I don't care what you think though. I don't, and that's the frustration.
Okay, go ahead, Black.
Like men act like there's some sort of ownership with women and how they look and how they show up and how they dress and all that, and so women just get offended. That's really all it is to it.
Okay, I respect it.
So I agree with my sis 1,000%, and I've said it many times on my platform. Women don't dress for us, they.
I don't know if I agree with that all the way though, Black.
No, I agree.
I feel you, but I've always felt that way. I feel like when they come out the house, it is for another woman to say, "Oh, girl, you look cute," or "I like that skirt." And I've always based it on the fact that there's a guy right now with his mattress on the floor and he don't have shit to offer her. And he's sitting there playing video games and he got 3-4 bitches coming in and out, and some of them they from all different types. They're dressing and doing all that. So this whole makeup thing, though, for me, it's bad enough that you're dealing with somebody's representative anyway, in today's dating scene, And so now for me anyway, I agree with Lady D, but my thing is, that's why you can't expect me to tell the truth though, because if you're going to show up, and your representative is with the big spider eyelashes, the fake hair, and the makeup so heavy that I can barely recognize you, and Miss Toria as well, that's why I get these bitches out of here at 3:00, because I don't want to be you caught the light to catch you, and who I laid down with ain't the same person, because now I'm going to catfish you the same way too, So for the short guys, brothers, put on boots so you stand 3 inches taller, and tuck some socks in your mustard drawers so it look like you packing weight, and then she won't know until you're stuffing it in her head and tail, but you expecting me to, to give you the truth, and you showing up as this person. So I don't care how you look, but that's why, again, that's why my feeling is the way it is.
Okay, all right, I hear you. So this is my last question then. So who in this moment, who is more being more disrespectful? I'm saying that just if I'm not using the right word, I'm asking this. Like if a woman presents herself with that makeup on, and then she's being courted or trying to holler at this dude, who's being more deceptive? Maybe that's I guess, is that being deceptive, her showing him that and never showing him her natural self at any time? Like there's some women who don't refuse to leave without putting this makeup on. So is that a deceptive practice? So what is that?
To Lady D's point is what you like.
Right. It's not deceptive. I just think that's what women do. I mean, women grew up as little girls playing with makeup. This isn't nothing new. This is what but I think at the end of the day, you like what you like. I think sometimes we make a big deal out of something that's really not that big of a deal. If you don't like women that wear makeup, don't rock with them. If you like women if you don't have a problem with them, then find those. I mean, you like what you like. So again, I just think as men, we can't tell a woman what to do with her face. At the end of the day, it's her face.
Well, I'm saying if she's presenting that to him when he meets her,
hell, a lot of us be deceptive too when we present that we got 6-figure jobs.
I love that.
Is that being deceptive?
Yes, it is.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Is.
So that's why my answer is it is deceptive, but it's part of the game.
It's part of the game.
So to me, it is deceptive, but to Lady D's point, if that's what you down for and you tolerate, and while I can't tell you what to do with your face, it absolutely for me is deceptive. But my thing is, it's whether or not I'm willing to tolerate it to a certain extent, because I see you. Now, shame on me if I'm never going beyond the surface to get to know you, where I could see what you really look like. If it's going to head serious, if this is just a jump off, then Kenny's 1000%. Do what you want, or whatever. But there has to come a point where now, if this is going until it becomes something a little bit more. What does your natural hair look like? What do you look like without makeup? What is your daily routine? This kind of thing. So that's where for me it becomes important.
Okay, and I respect that then, because then you have men who don't really have good sense. There are guys. I guess I'm just not around them that just can't tell the difference. Like you got to be real simple to be that kind of dude. But you do, man. Because it's like, bro, you can't tell me that you think that girl looked like that. But again, I think that. Go ahead, kid.
I just got a question for Lady D. Have you ever had a man when you were dating? Did they express to you that they didn't want you to wear makeup?
Well, yeah, I've had dudes tell me that like they don't want me to dress a certain way. They want me to wear makeup. They want me to wear my own natural hair. And then I'll be like, I don't give a damn what you think. And they get over it, or they move or they go on. I mean,
Right.
it's just, I mean, it's just what it is. Because to me, my comfort is how I show up. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of what it is. Like, if I strip down for you, if let's just say I'm that clown face girl, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but let's just be honest.
I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it too. Not us.
And so I stripped down for you just to make you feel comfortable, so you can see what I truly, quote unquote, look like. I'm not leaving the house like that after that. Like, I'm not going to become this other person just to suit you, because this is how I feel comfortable showing up in the world. So that means you are just not for me. That just means that I'm the type of person, because I like all of these things, because I dress this way, because I show up this way, because I look this way. That just means that we are not
Compatible.
we are not compatible. I mean, if you and I are dating and you show up at a Bentley and I think you a baller or whatever, and then you later on tell me that was a rental, and then you like, how you gonna not date me now just because of blah 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 blah?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's a great
like,
equivalent.
I don't want a man that rent a Bentley. I need a man that can be himself and only drive a Honda.
Drive it. Yep.
He may be so arrogant or feel a certain way where he feels like that brings down his currency, and I feel more comfortable in a Bentley sleeping on my daddy's couch than I do driving a Honda. I mean, it's just and I know dudes like that who go broke to show up a certain way, to be able to wear certain clothes, to wear jewelry, to be able to throw money at a strip club, and he really a broke ass. I think both it's one and the same.
I think that's a great comparison, because then that just speaks to superficiality for me, right? And again, you said something. I'm going to ask you, and we'll move on. I'm going to let Black say that, and I'm going to say that. Go ahead, Black.
Well, I only want to just say where you and I share the same thing, Brenton. Who I married, I intentionally married somebody that didn't wear a whole lot of makeup because that's what I chose. And I've never, ever, never, ever, ever told a woman how to look her face. I want to be clear on that, because I think that's a part of control with somebody.
Right.
So that's not something I'm into. So, and again, if I'm messing with you, I'm attracted to you anyway. Don't get it twisted. I wouldn't make wife up somebody with the big spider ear, the clown face or whatever. Well, I'll knock her down. Those are two different things. So I mean, I don't tell you how to look, but I know in the back of my head I can't take this bitch home or down the aisle. But yeah, I can do what I do to it and get her up out of here before the sun.
This is a test.
Add something, ain't nobody add
Yeah.
Okay, so wait, Devin. Okay, so I'm gonna say the last part. I'm gonna take it down, because we can go move on.
Yeah.
But you said vulnerability and stripping the all the makeup off. So again, in some form of fashion, is that not them like putting a wall up or something? Maybe there is. Some people are doing that because they don't like the way they look, and to not show somebody their true selves, to be vulnerable with them. And again, at the same time, you got to make sure that dude has enough intelligence to be able to respect what you are. And if you don't like that, then so be it. But there is a level of vulnerability there to some people, right? Because I mean, you said that, so I'm just like, is that then? Are they not then trying to overcompensate for something?
I don't know if it's overcompensating. I just feel like if you feel more comfortable showing up in the world a certain way, like it's for instance, there are people who used to be like really heavy and they lose a lot of weight and they got like excess skin and stuff like that. So they wear like different compression suits and things like that, because they don't want to show up in the world like looking like that, because they feel uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? They get this reaction when I show up this way versus if I show up, another way. It's like a lot of men when they start to go bald and they wear hats all the time because they're not ready. I'm just saying some men aren't ready to just be vulnerable, like that. And like dudes now are getting like the spray stuff on their head. Because you just want to feel more comfortable and you want to be in control of how you show up. And if you're a woman and I start dating a dude who wear the stuff, I would be wrong if I was like, hey, that looked like trash. Can you please stop, doing that? What you would say to him is, I think you look nice without it. But of course, I want you to do whatever makes you feel comfortable and whatever makes you happy. But you can let them know I'm going to like you either way. And to me, that's the way the man should also approach the woman. But you can't get with her and be like, okay, now I want you to stop doing X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Because that's not going to make her comfortable. Because like I say, although she wants you to be attracted to her, she's not doing this strictly and solely for you. It's for her own comfort and for her own self, to the way she wants to show up.
Yeah. Great.
Totally
See,
agree.
we can have this conversation without everybody being this. Yeah. And again, that's great. So, ladies, I just would recommend that you make sure before you go to, taking it down and being vulnerable, make sure you got you a decent person. And again, do your thing, boo. And again, I just wanted to know, because maybe it's just a lot of disrespectful, ignorant people out there that just don't know how to have that conversation. And again, that's just the reality. So, oh well. All right. Well, here we are asking AI again. This I like this one. So I decided to ask AI for this segment, what are 3 of the most important concerns that Black women have with Black men that they are in relationship with?
Oh, wow. This ought to be interesting.
Well, we're going to talk about it. Because, again, it's a computer. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, well, all right. Yeah. So here's what AI begins to say. He says the relationship dynamics between Black women and Black men can be influenced by various cultural, societal, and personal factors. It says, while concerns can vary widely among individuals, here are 3 common concerns. And concern number 1, it says communication and emotional availability, which I felt like that's good because we've gone down that street before about the emotional intelligence. And so here it is. This is what AI says about this first concern. It says, many Black women express a desire for open, honest, and effective communication in their relationship. I don't know if I agree with that, but we'll talk about it. It says there can be concerns about emotional accessibility and vulnerability, as some Black men may struggle to express their feelings or engage in deeper emotional discussions. This can lead to feelings of discontent or frustration in the relationship. I'm gonna let you go first, sister, and then I'm gonna see what the brothers think.
I haven't been with a Black man in a minute, but my last relationship with a Black guy, believe it or not, there's been a few. And I believe it almost goes back to the makeup thing. Nobody wants to show up as their authentic self because they're worried about how they're going to be felt. And so it's hard to just be vulnerable and say things and to let it all out, because for one, I think you don't really want to be seen as weak. And while I want you to be vulnerable and emotionally available, I also don't want no titty baby.
Right.
And I think a lot of dudes know that. We only want you to be so emotionally vulnerable, so communicative, until you start to turn into a little old pussy, and then you got to quit.
Okay. Kenny, what you think about communication and emotional availability?
I
want to say I don't believe all women desire open and honest men, because someone won't be lied to.
I think the majority of Black women do want honest and open communication and emotional availability from Black men. I think they do. But I think us as Black men, we kind of a little gun shy when it come to that, because
we be judging.
Yeah, and the discussion get disrespectful. We were talking about disrespect earlier. If there comes up an issue and y'all get disrespectful, Black women are real good to being disrespectful to bring that up. But yeah, you can't even, you cry too much for me. I don't want all that. So a lot of times, or men really may be feeling some type of way about something, and we don't feel like we're in a safe space to tell our woman how we really feeling, because it's going to be used against us later on. So.
Okay, so before I get to the Black, this is what I just want to say this, because I think there is some personal responsibility here, because if you are not clear about who you looking at and who you talking to, then again, we can't play Tyler Perry and cut the scene and then try to fix this dude to be somebody that he's not. And even vice versa. You can't fix her to be something that she's not.
Right.
So again, he may look good, but he may be dumb as rocks. And you can't sit up here and try to expect somebody that ain't never grew up with no daddy. And I'm not even saying it has to be that way, because you can even have a daddy and be stupid. I know them too. But I'm just saying, like, we can't take this and just be like, this is automatic, because everybody don't have the same intellect. Everybody don't have the same emotional capacity. And so you just got to, okay, go ahead, Black.
This is a tough question for me, and it's complex in so many ways, because I think the way AI has answered it, it's for me, my experience has been, it's answering it from an antiquated perspective. If we're talking about men over the age of 40, I see a lot of valid points that AI was making. And I do think older, more mature women probably could fall into that category of they want men to be vulnerable and open. And then Kenny has a brilliant point in that a lot of men don't feel able to do that. I've had a show called Real Talk for Real Men for 5 years that I've literally tried to get men to open up. But even on my platform, there is such a tendency to say what we think women want to hear because of how it's going to be perceived. For women over 40, maybe this is probably true. But when you start talking about what's out here now in the dating scene, you lying bitches, y'all lying like a mother. Because I don't think that's true. And we see on social media this little experimental platform that's so popular where they march the guy in and the women have the balloons.
Yeah.
And it could be a guy that, for all intent and purposes, got a job, carries himself right and everything. The balloons are popping because his ankles are showing. And this, that, and the other. And so in today's dating society, I think that's a lie. That's not necessarily true. And to Lady D's point, you know, it's the pendulum has swung too far. The ones that do want them to open up, we brought in a generation of bitch ass niggas, you know. And so one of my guilty shows on Friday, I watched this Steve Harvey thing for real, whatever it's called, Ready for Love, and it sickens me to see these grown ass men under 40, you know, sometimes they 45-ish or whatever, who they're the ones who's bitching and moaning and crying about their feelings and, oh my God, she didn't understand me, this, that, and the other, because we've emasculated men. And in my experience, women don't want that. If I wanted to turn a woman off, is when I opened up my feelings. That's when she's ready to leave. But if I grab that bitch by the scruff of her neck, you know, slam her up against the wall and call her all kinds of nasty, no good bitches, she don't want to leave here.
I think that's your personal experience with. Okay, the second concern, it says support and partnership, and I thought this was interesting because it says Black women often seek supportive partners who share a commitment to mutual growth and empowerment. It says there may be concerns about whether Black men are as invested in the relationship and in addressing systematic challenges faced by the Black community. This includes the desire for shared responsibility, emotional support, and collaboration in navigating societal pressures. Now, I thought that was interesting because I do know dudes that really kind of lean on the white man, holding them down and all that kind of stuff. He ain't holding you down that much no more, bro. Okay, but at the same time, I do understand women that have gone to other cultures and ethnicities. And I'm not saying they always do that because of that, but a lot of times those guys do have themselves economically together just because of their privilege. I'm not ashamed to say that, but I got my own. Yeah, I'm going to get to you. But I will say this. This is why, again, I love to see a beautiful relationship, you know, starting from the bottom and they grind it to the top. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. But at the same time, I understand kind of what this is saying. But what are you going to say, Black?
On this one, I agree 1,000%, you know, and I'm glad you made the point of that. This one right here is where I think we as Black men, it's my opinion, we as Black men have let Black women down the most. I think it has pushed them to the point where they have had to become the breadwinners and get out there and grind on their own. And it swung that pendulum so far until it's made them think that they don't need black men, but that's because they had to. You know, we went through a period of black men making babies, spreading their seed and this, that, and the other without any responsibility of being a father. But that's because fathers weren't in homes. A lot of us black men have been raised in homes where there wasn't a father figure. We've been raised by nanas and mamas and aunties and this, that, and the other. And so the black men that are out here now in particular, and even it's sad to say, some of us men that are older, this is not young men only, older men, it's become easier to rely upon the woman to get it done. I'll give you one perfect example. I used to be a property manager. If you work in that field, a lot of people may not know this, probably 80% of the apartments that's rented are by women. You know why? Because women are the ones that make 3 times the income, have a good rental history, and they also can have no criminal background. And so for men, we have let them down on so many levels where women got tired of sitting home, and they're like, I want things, and I don't have to sit at home. I'm not going to cook. And so I do think that they want equal partners. And I love what you said, Brenton. I don't talk about the white man. Racism is never going away. Let's not kid ourselves. And so that's always going to be here. But we can't use that as a crutch anymore, that the white man is holding us down from being a good partner to a sister or to and make stronger relationships.
Or be a supporter.
You can take that shit somewhere else, because that's not the white man.
Yeah, and all women don't want a man to support them. Sometimes they want to grow with you in a partnership.
And that's why I said being a partner.
Yeah, so again, but y'all got to get out y'all weak feelings, dummies. But Kenny, go ahead. I'm gonna say sister for last with this.
Yeah, I think Brother Black said it really, really well. I think, the independent mantra now of black women is the big thing now. So again, I think now as black men, we really trying to figure out where do we fit in when it comes to being in a relationship with I'm speaking independent black women, because that's what it is. A lot of times we're not being supportive of them. They got more education than us. They making more money than us. So a lot of black men, they're a little jealous of black women. Actually, a lot of them hate black women. So when you have that whole, and that's a part of this you can unpack that too. We go down the rabbit hole with that. But I really think I agree with AI. But I think the black men, as Brother Black said so eloquently, man, we've let black women down for so long. Hell, that's why black women, feel the way they feel.
But there are some women that don't want to be independent, that want to support their man too. But I don't. Y'all go. And I'm saying y'all
haven't had but that same woman, they don't have a choice. They can. On my platform, there's many of my sisters that say, "Please come into my life and help me," but they can't sit and wait on the guy to get his shit together either. So it's forced them. You're right. There's black women that would love to hand the reins over to a guy. We're not ready. We haven't stepped up to the plate.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, sister, what you think about all this? What's up, dude?
If I'm being honest, if I think about my last few relationships where it was just uneven, cool.
I'm telling you, what you do?
Where'd that come
Where
from?
balloons come from?
I think when you held up your fingers or something, it just did that.
I love
That's
that.
right. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it does that.
And when I think about the relationships of girlfriends of mine and women that I know, the reason women have realized that it's just not fair, and it's like for what?
What's not fair?
If you think about it, and we're talking about this, because like AI said, the stereotype of being in a relationship with a black man, you still want to be head of household, and I want y'all to be honest with me and let's be subjective. We want men to be the head of household. We still have to treat you like the head of household. You still have to be the primary leaders and the decision makers. Is like God, husband, wife, kids, blah blah blah.
That's antiquated.
Wait, hold on.
No, that's me.
And with women, it's like it doesn't really benefit us to be that, because while we're pretending that this is what life is, we're making the most money, so we're paying the majority of the bills. We're the primary caretakers for the kids because that's woman's work. We have to do all the cooking and cleaning and whatnot because that's woman's work. And I'm not talking about you guys because y'all are a different set of men. I'm just talking about a lot of the, if I'm thinking of 3 friends of mine in relationships with men. She is paying all the bills. She's taking care of everything. He out here screwing whatever he want to screw and doing whatever he want to do. And the church say that's your husband. You don't let the devil come in your house and tear up your relationship. So she got to tolerate that shit. Like, I think after a while, women just said, for what? Like, if I got to tolerate all of this, got to do all this, got to put on this fake face for the public, you know, to make it seem like my household is run by my spouse or whatever. Right. And then I got to worry about him possibly giving me something or a side baby or something like that popping up. I may as well be single and just screw Joe Blow down the street when I want some because I'm taking a risk anyway. So what's the point? The great thing that I can say that I've noticed is the pendulum, and I say this, but I'm also smart enough to know that it may be my age and because I don't see a lot as much. I feel like the pendulum is starting to like shift slightly because the stereotype of that, I'm not seeing it as often, but that may be my age group.
I hope you're right, sweetheart.
And not the younger people.
Now, they still silly out there. And again, that is some really bad teaching that comes from it does come from a religious background.
Yes.
It does. And that's again, if we're honest, and this is just where I am, a lot of black homes 40, 50 years ago, that's mostly where they got a lot of their education from. Right. Was from.
Again, I'm saying this, and now I just realized because I had my a little gathering, and I have a daughter that's in her late 20s, and she's dating someone, and she's not on birth control. And I remember saying to her, "You're going to end up a single parent. Nothing about this dude tells you that he's someone who would stay in the life of his child and help you raise a child. You're going to get pregnant, and you're going to be a single parent." Right. So I guess it hasn't shifted much with the young people because I can almost guarantee it's going to happen to her.
For sure. What's up, man?
I have to get in a point that I'm sorry, since you brought that up, because I posted this on my page this week.
Okay.
Guy was having a forum with women, and he asked them a question on that, Lady D, and it was silence fell over the room. He asked a panel of women, if you wanted to learn how to play basketball, would you go to a football player? They said no. If you wanted to be a good cook, who would you go to? They all said a chef. If you wanted to learn how to fly a plane, where would you go to? They all said a pilot. He said, so how can women know how to be a wife when they have not had an example of what it means to be a wife? Many of these households that these young women have grown up in, their mothers have been single mothers doing exactly what you just said. And so what they've done, if they perpetuated and spent the cycle forward by saying, I don't need a man. I got my rose and my egg, and I'm going to be out here and do things on my own. And they've had to do it. But then they turn around and teach that same thing to their daughters. You don't need a man, this, that. So he said, we are creating another generation where you're actually empowering your daughter to be a single mother because she doesn't know how to be a wife. They don't have examples of how it is to be a wife. Now, I turned that into a broader picture. Black men we haven't come from an environment where we've seen how to be a husband and what it means to be in a family. Yep. I'm personally affected by that. Yep. I had to learn about manhood in my adulthood from taking a little bit from this man and a little bit from that man, because I had no active example of what it really meant to be the head of a household, to take care of all of these things. And I had to learn that on the fly. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. Now, before I let you go, you and him been doing good today. Don't y'all start cutting up.
No, I'm still doing good. Okay, I'm just saying that a lot of women that I know of, even myself, I do have a lot of women in my life who are married, especially older women who have been married, but their examples of marriage are not something I would ever want any parts of. You know what I'm saying? So we do have examples of what it is to be a wife. I've had my mom who weirdly enough, never divorced my dad. They were still married when he died, but they were separated since I was probably young. They just never formally divorced. But even with her teaching of how to be a wife, it was you just do whatever you can to make sure that man don't leave you while she's working 2 or 3 jobs, paying all the bills, raising us by herself. I'm running into him and some woman at the grocery store that he messing around. So our examples of what it means to be a wife is just too much of a struggle for us, and we don't want no parts of that. It's not fun.
Okay.
Is that isolated though? Because we miss big mamas and this, that, where you had women who had wifely responsibilities. And I'm not excusing men. And I use this perfect example. When I was married, when all my wife had to say was, you know, my gas is low. It was understood, you know, or my car's making a funny sound. It was understood that responsibility now finds on me. Here, baby, take my car. Let me go. I'm gonna have to take your car this week to get it fixed, you know. But at the same time, we've raised a generation of, I ain't gonna cook nothing. What's wrong with his hands? You know, this, that, and the other. Whereas I grew up in an environment where there was always a full meal and the house was kept clean. But at this new age, so when we say this antiquated, you know, I hear you in some ways, but we've thrown the baby out with the bathwater at the same time. We've thrown away everything that's traditional, and we've adopted this new shit that doesn't work either.
I agree.
What up, DJ?
What up,
He said,
DJ?
I feel like the 15% of men who move and act like that are held the majority. Says, in my opinion, we got to stop judging all men off the knuckleheads. A lot of good men out here. Nobody in my circle is that, and nobody's in my circle that way either, bro.
And that's where DJ, the pendulum, like I said, is starting to shift, and we're getting away from that stereotypical way that like AI was talking about.
Yeah, but it's so much wrong. Whether it's TV, whether it's ideology, it's just so many things. We just got to stay focused. And y'all can't keep trying to take what y'all see on the TV and the movies and try to act like, listen, Tyler Perry picked up them actors from somewhere. And so that all them men ain't, if y'all could only have heard what we heard before we started this show. There's a lot of problems out here. Y'all.
Yeah, no, y'all don't want to hear that.
That don't sound like a problem to me.
Oh, that's a big problem. That's a big
like a good time.
No, because some girl wants that. They looking for him. And you know what I'm saying? And
no, we're not.
That man, you may not be.
To go to the store with, maybe.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. We're gonna move on. Okay, what you say, DJ? Said women move like the men they hate nowadays also.
But hey, you know what, DJ? I do have to agree with you on that.
I agree with you on that, DJ. Actually,
Definitely.
I really do agree.
I see it. I see it a whole lot. Believe me, I do.
I'm more pessimistic than y'all. I truly am more pessimistic than y'all. I think when DJ says that nobody in his circle, I agree. I feel that 1,000%, and nobody in my circle. But that's because I've created this bubble around me. That's just, you know. But by and large, what I see when I look out there, I see way too many damn knuckleheads.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna say I got two. I'm gonna do one more because we did good. I just wanted to get up out of here. So all right, so I got one more and then we'll be done. And I wanted to do this one because it's gonna open up a can of worms. And he drinking and she drinking, and I just
no, I'm drinking juice. I don't have alcohol.
Alcohol ain't never been a problem with you though. That's the thing.
See there, Lady D on her best behavior on this one.
Nah, we gonna see. Okay, we gonna see. Okay, a bad person versus a bad decision. And what I mean by this is it a bad person that's making a lot of bad decisions, or do you consider a bad decision and then you equate that to a bad person? And so here's a couple of things I mean by that. And it may change as I bring up the different scenarios. So a man that's bad with money, that doesn't make him a bad person. He just make a lot of bad decisions with his money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But that may change when I say a man who has a lot of sexual, improprieties, and he can't keep his Johnson in his pants. Mm-hmm. And again, does that then change? Is that person a bad person? And again, I didn't want to ask this question, but no, I'm not gonna ask that question. I'm gonna ask I'm gonna ask AI this question about cheating because I want to know what AI think about men and women cheating. So we'll say that for later. But what is it? Is it a bad person that makes bad decisions, or is it a good person that's making bad, or are they one and the same? So I just. And again, does it depend on the situation? Because I guarantee y'all, if we start talking about a bad person doing money versus a bad person doing a lot of women, y'all feel a little bit different, though, don't y'all? I mean, I'll start with you, sister. Oh, go ahead, Kenny. You sound like you ready.
No,
you ready?
I'm still thinking. Let's
okay. All right, you ready, sister?
Yeah, I qualify a bad person strictly by their character. Like,
okay.
A person can make a lot of bad decisions, but to me, that would never make them a bad person.
What are they?
Like, a cheat. I mean, you're a decent person who do a bunch of dumb shit. I mean, you're not necessarily a bad person. To me, you're a bad person if you're hurting someone else. If you're doing things that don't harm other people, then you're not a bad person. If you're a cheater, I'm going to say you're a bad person because you don't care about how it affects your partner. And to me, that means I'm judging your character. And then you are a bad person. If you know that you are crushing the soul of your person and you don't care, you just keep throwing it in their face and you just hurt her over and over and over again. Now, to me, you have bad character. And then I may say that you're a bad person. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just someone who every time you get your check, you blow it on dumb stuff, on video games or at the casino or stuff like that, you make a bunch of bad decisions. I'm not calling you a bad person because to me, bad people negatively affect other people or the people around you. If you're not harming anyone or hurting anyone, I would never qualify you as a bad person.
Okay, so since you said that, I'm gonna have you here, and I'm gonna give fellas more time to think about this. So, what about alcoholics or people who are addicted to drugs? Then that harms the family.
They're not bad people.
But I'm saying you, and again, we're just talking. So I'm just saying because I feel like this may end up going like settling in on something else. So again, I agree with you if you hurt people, but again, hurting someone because you're alcoholic versus hurting someone because you are sexually immoral. I mean, are we going to separate those two people?
I think there's levels. I think there's levels to what you're saying. I think there's different levels of being a bad person. I think you can put them in different categories. In my opinion. Again,
so how are you categorizing the cheater versus the alcoholic versus the insane gambler?
I think they all bad. I think the one thing about the alcoholic it does. You're right. In the long run, it actually hurts that person. It doesn't really hurt unless he's violent and he's done some things to the family. So yeah, it's different levels to it. But I think at the end of the day, I'm not going to correlate. I'm gonna agree with Lady D. I think I'm gonna base a bad person off of their character. Now that to me, if your character is just in the toilet, then yeah, you're a bad person no matter what it is. Now good people make bad decisions all the time. So that's how I look at it. But your character is who you are. And if you just characterly a bad person, that's just who you are.
Okay. No, good. I talk to y'all because we care about each other and we can have these conversations. So that's why I'm talking, because it's what we do. All right, sir.
Brother Kenny said there's levels to this game. And I agree. I had to speak in tongues real quick a little bit because the Bible says
what is going on? TD!
Hell to the no!
Oh, we ain't playing that.
Because the Bible says, neither liars, nor thieves, nor adulterers, nor men who lie with men. The scriptures link all of these things together, and from my interpretation, there's no one sin greater than the other. And I bring that up because I wanted to say, I don't judge. So I agree. I think by and large, people make bad decisions. I have brothers who have been on crack, beautiful people, controlled by a substance. I have close friends who are alcoholics, and it has ruined their life. Multiple DUIs, can't work this, that, the other, bad decisions. Now, in terms of immorality, I am an immoral person. I'm not amoral, but I'm immoral. So, having said that, yes, but I love these hoes more than they love themselves most of the time. So my thing is that, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to do what I do, but you know this when you get involved with me.
Yes.
So there is no deceit in there in terms of, I'm not going to be telling you, don't come in here with the expectation, because when I have been married, then I have put forth that effort. But now in terms of, you know, things like that, and I just said from the other segment that you don't want me as no good person. You don't want the good, I go to bed at 10 o'clock and hey, would you like something? No, you like me putting a belt around your neck. You like me calling you a no good bitch. You like me snatching your musty drawers right off you and doing what I do. That's how you love me. You know, half of these bitches don't even want me to wash my dick and balls because they want it musty and funky. And so don't tell me about, you know, a bad person versus a bad decision. This is what you get, and this is what it is.
What's up, Craig, man? I said I ain't seen you in a minute, man. He says, to my point, a person who blows his money isn't a bad person, but someone who blows the rent money and he has a family to care for, he is a bad person. And that's what I'm talking about, y'all. Like we gotta pay attention to these.
And he also said, "Yes, sir, Lee." So thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, y'all got that Lee Black in y'all. That's what's wrong. Every one of y'all got it. Okay, well, listen, this is all I'm saying, again, because we blanket a lot of things, and I think, like y'all said, there may be levels to this thing. So, again, we got to be careful how, I ain't going to even say that, because I don't know what to say about these. It was it's a complicated issue, right? And so it's just like, I'm not bringing up just normal things. It's just things that we're just not really thinking about. And I just want y'all to think about them as y'all dealing with people y'all want to be in relationship with. So again, if this dude is, I think it's detrimental to have a bad person and a person who's making bad decisions, if I'm being honest, because you could be a good person. And like you said, you spending money, you drinking, and you sleeping with people. But again, you go to church every Sunday. I know them. They do it. So again, y'all just have to be careful and don't just, again, it's not so much to attack the person, but again, just find yourself dealing with the right type of people, if I could just say that. And again, they're both detrimental in my mind. So y'all just be careful out there. Great show, y'all. Thank y'all. It's been 3 months and we've done this, and I'll try to do it once a quarter, but great stuff, everybody. I appreciate y'all so much. And thank y'all, everybody, for joining us and sharing with us. But it's final thoughts time. And Kenny, I'll never let you not do it.
You already know.
Yes, sir. I won't ever do it. Y'all, we cannot let Kenny get in between these two.
No.
We just can't handle it. So Kenny,
hey, this is the relay, the 4x100, and I'm the lead off. You feel me? Yeah, I'm the lead off.
That's all right. Yes, sir. Well, lead us out strong, then, brother. Lead us out strong.
You know, I definitely enjoy these Black Love segments because I think this is one of the things that I've always said, man. And you know, Black, you know what I say. I want to see Black love win.
Yes, sir.
And not saying that I don't want to see any other love win, but I want to see Black love win just because. And Lady D gave me some hope though.
Okay.
She says that she sees the pendulum kind of shifting back to where we liking one another again. That's a start. So that's giving me hope.
She don't get out much either though, she said.
Yeah, I know. but that's giving me hope because at the end of the day, can we just like each other? Can we start liking each other again, Black men and Black women?
For sure.
Can we do that? Let's start there. I know baby steps. So I'm digging this, the AI. You know, I'm a little leery about AI. Believe me, the AI be some of their answers may not be something I agree with. Yeah. But again, I think we got something here, man, and I hope everybody keep tuning in and check us out, man. Y'all come tell everybody, your friends to come check us out. So we have an open and honest dialogue about something that we need to talk about. So that's my final thoughts.
And we're not scared to talk about nothing. I promise you. And when we talk behind stage, we ain't scared to talk about nothing.
Well, especially here, coming from that dude up there. But anyway, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, sister. In Georgia, thank you so much for clearing up that makeup. All right, let us have it, honey.
I think that women, this is what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
PSA. Have typically been always taught to kind of carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. And you take whatever because you are supposed to be the matriarch of the family. You take care of the kids, you take care of your husband, you do whatever you got to do to keep the family together. But in 2025, y'all can kiss our ass because guess what? We ain't doing that shit no more. We gonna make sure we good. Just like we can change a diaper, your ass can change a diaper too. Just like we can go to work and work two or three jobs, your ass can work 2 or 3 jobs too. Just like we can pay the bill, I'm gonna need you to put in on this goddamn rent too. And so that's just how it is. I'm gonna need women to, in the words of Erica De Niro from YouTube, your standards as high as giraffe coochie. And F it all. Now, don't be so, hard up where you can't give somebody a chance. You got to give them a chance, but don't give them too much of a chance. And just always know you need to have FU ability. I've lost a lot of men because they said I got too much FU ability, but you know what? Fuck you. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna keep it. I ain't gotta be with you. I'm not curving my knees for your punk ass. Thank y'all.
This is a test. This is only a test.
Well, my whole final thoughts went down the toilet after that.
That's right. See that's what I'm
So much for us liking each other again. I tried, brothers.
That's exactly why Kenny stay out from between them. So, all right, my brother.
I'm gonna back my sis 1,000%, not 100, but 1,000.
1,000. All right.
My beautiful sis on this show, come to know her. Never met her in person. She's our resident life coach, and I agree with everything you said. We have got to step up. I don't disagree with not one single word. And I think in the long run, I think that would be better for Black love. The Bible says bad association spoils useful habits. And I've always carried that scripture with me because if you lower your standard, then the standard should be the standard. So I love what you're saying to the sisters out there. Set your standards high and make brothers climb up to that. And my brothers, we've got to do better. Now, having said that, I am a realist. Until we get to that place, not all you bitches is coochies as high as giraffes, some of you as hyenas, and that way it's easy to get. And being this old lion of mine, I can't jump as far as I used to. I can't climb no more. So I'm very grateful for a lot of you bitches whose coochies are still down low on the ground and willing to take whatever until I meet those standards. Thank God for good bitches out there. I love you to death. And as I said, I love most of these hoes more than they love themselves because they won't even clean. God bless you.
And they ain't got the nerve to say God bless you. That would be good.
DJ, you sure right. Because I met 1 or 2 aunties at my daddy's funeral that I didn't even know I had. Granddaddy's wasn't shit.
Man, appreciate that, DJ. Man, thank you, man.
Appreciate you, brother DJ.
Listen, man, if we get compliments from DJ, we know we're doing all right there. Yeah, I sure appreciate that. Well, listen, y'all. I thoroughly enjoyed the show so much, and I just have a question. So y'all heard the term: the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Do y'all subscribe to that mantra?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So what then does that mean in a nutshell? I mean, Black, what is the bigger they are, the harder they fall? What do you take from that?
Sticking with my scriptures, I think of Goliath.
Okay.
A giant was slain by the stone by David.
Yeah. Okay. Sister, what do you take from the bigger they are, the harder they fall?
I take it like from a person that's big-headed. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna learn today. That type of thing.
All right. Kenny?
I agree with both of my brother and sister, but it also could mean that if you messing with a chick outside of your weight class, yeah, she gonna probably be a little bit harder to fall for you.
Oh. Boy, he had that Cadillac turn on it, didn't he? Yes, sir.
No, he didn't.
All right.
Shit.
Hey, some fellas like to deal with women outside the weight class. I'm just saying.
Them
All right.
BBWs.
That's it. You tried to mess up my final thought. I ain't. That's all right. Good job. That's all right. Well, listen, I'm not sure if I subscribe to it, but I'll let you take a look. Hold on.
Yeah.
That's just dumb.
Why they videoing and not helping him?
Yeah.
Listen, we talked about these. We talked about these disrespectful fools. They just disrespectful. That's all we got the camera on.
You poor guy, dog.
All I want to tell y'all is, I don't care how big he is. If you're taking a fall like that, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna be hard and it's gonna hurt. I don't care how. Listen, you could be the smallest thing on the planet, or you could be the fattest thing on the planet. But when you taking a fall like that, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt,
Boy,
and it's gonna hurt hard. So I just tell y'all just be careful when y'all taking these stances and y'all standing on things and y'all what they stand on business. You better make sure that business is solid.
I do this right.
Because if it ain't, it's gonna cause some problems in your life. So listen, we back Monday unless Kenny or Lee gets sick. You ain't going nowhere, is you, Monday, sister?
No, I don't leave until the end of the month, and then I'm gone for a couple weeks. We'll discuss that later.
I guess we're going on a hiatus, y'all. So listen, we'll be back. Yeah, I know, Mr. We'll be back Monday for sure. But listen, that's Lee, that's Devin, and that's Kenny, and we out of here. Peace.
Peace.